Hi, welcome everybody. I'm Suzanne Doolin. Welcome to the Business Corner. I am the owner of the SADHANA catalog, which is online at SADHANA catalog.com. I'm here today with Britny West. Welcome, Britny.
Hi, so excited to be here.
Britny West is a money mindset coach, and she's also a money block healer for women in business who are tired of standing in their own way. She helps them to work through self-sabotaging patterns around lack of clarity, confidence, consistency, and cash flow. So we're so lucky to have you here, and I'll be putting the links into your Instagram, your latest course, your Facebook page, into the description below on YouTube. And also, if you're watching this replay in the Sadhana community on Facebook, it'll be up above in the description of the video. So welcome, Britny. Britny and I met in a program that we're taking together. And tell me a little bit, Britny, I know that you have 2 degrees. Can you tell me a little bit about your degrees?
Sure. So I have a bachelor's in psychology. I've always been obsessed with the mind and why people do the things they do. So that's my background in psychology. But then I also have a master's in public health. So I used to be a health coach, a health and wellness coach in my corporate life before I started my own business. So that's where I used that expertise around health education and behavior change and how to get people to make the changes that they want to make in their life.
Did you do money mindset work in the corporate world?
No, I actually did not. That's actually something I've never seen before in the corporate environment with money mindset. It's something that I really dipped my toes into once I got into starting my own business.
I've seen it in the entrepreneurship world. I'd never heard of it before. And in a lot of the programs that I've taken, there's been a lot of coaches. A lot of people have talked about this work. I'm curious, what exactly is it? I see a lot of talk about Abraham Hicks, The Secret, Didic, and I've heard also the lady who just recently passed away,
Louise Hay.
Louise
Yeah.
Hay. So does it come out of that law of attraction? Is that part of it? All of it?
I love this question. Yeah, I think that you can take it from either angle. You know, if you take money mindset just on its own and you take out the spirituality, you can still work on money mindset, because really, even coming from a scientific perspective, you know, we tend to, when we get to a certain level of happiness, success, fulfillment in our lives, we tend to get really afraid to get past this basically self-imposed glass ceiling. And that's just really our ego, right? Our ego wants us to stay where we're familiar, where we're comfortable. And so when money is one of those energies or one of those things that people tend to feel a lot of resistance around, because they may have internalized messages from a very young age around what was possible for them, how much money was safe to have. Maybe there's beliefs around rich people are evil, or money doesn't grow on trees and things like that. And so, we tend to take on the beliefs of our parents and their parents and, continuing on and on. And so even from, the brain level, our subconscious mind, we can tend to believe things around money that aren't really based in reality. They're just based in beliefs that we've carried that don't have to be true for us. So that's more of the logical psychology answer to that. But there is this law of attraction, the secret, as you mentioned, where, the universe is always expanding. We have the ability to really have anything that we desire. And there's no shame or no guilt around wanting more. In fact, it's technically our birthright to just be expanding as people. And so money is just one of those energies that we can expand and use it to grow and to help people and to give. And so that is when you want to develop that more positive relationship around money, because if you love money and you appreciate it, it's going to love you back. And it's going to more easily flow into your life.
I see many yoga teachers, people in the healing profession. And interestingly, I've had business people on my business corner and had conversations with them. And almost everybody seems to kind of start out with this lovely idea that they are just going to give their gifts away for free. Do you see that in your work? And what do you think that's about?
I see that a lot, and it's something I also struggle with in the beginning of my business, because I went from being a coach where I never had to do any sales. I was just the coach. I got to do my job as a coach. I didn't never have to do any of that. They were just given to me. The clients were given to me, and I did the work. So for me, it was a big mindset shift to going from getting a paycheck that wasn't connected to something I never had to talk about money. I guess that's the thing. I never had to talk about money with my clients. It was a whole different thing. My company took care of that. So to get from that, when we're used to just receiving a paycheck and not having to negotiate or talk about money with people, to having your own business, you have to really make this big shift in the way that you connect with money and your own gifts. Because, I think a lot of people have this block around feeling worthy. If they are sharing their gifts with the world, there's a couple beliefs around that. Either A, they feel guilty because they feel like they should help everybody. And if they don't help everyone, that makes them selfish, that makes them not a good person, or it means that they're somehow taking away from people. So that's one belief that really holds people back. But the second belief is also just feeling like, what if I'm not good enough to charge what I need to charge? And so that's where all our fears and our insecurities come up, because when you are the brand or when you are the service, even if you're amazing at being a yoga teacher and you know it, all of your stuff comes up. All of any kind of insecurities come up, and it can actually show up in, if I just get this certification, then I can charge what I want to charge. Oh, if I can just, I just need to coach a few people for free. When I get them results and I have testimonials, then I can charge for what I And so there's all these stories around, once I do this, then I can charge. But it never actually stops, because there's always going to be a part of you, until you deal with it, until you heal it, that's going to feel unworthy of being paid for something that you love doing. And that's the big thing, is that people have no problem getting paid for something they don't love doing. But when it becomes something that you're passionate about, that you love doing, that you would do for free and still enjoy it, that is where it tends to be very challenging for people, because they feel like it's not fair somehow. Like they should have to struggle really hard to make money. It shouldn't be this easy.
I'm so that person where for many, many years I kind of didn't make very much money at it, because it made me more comfortable. And I am glad in a way that I did it, because it did help me to get started. And I think that it's important, if you're in that place, to recognize, like, it is a real low risk way to get started. It's also sort of a way to not succeed because I can testify that I burned myself out pretty bad. And it's pretty hard to give to people when your well is totally empty. You do deserve, I think, to be supported and cared for. Another thing that I hear many yoga teachers say, and healing people in massage therapy, healing work, is that they could never support themselves as a yoga teacher, and the market is totally saturated. And I've seen that coming up in the coach world too. People are sort of like, oh, I just saw there's some article going around about how the coaching thing's going to implode and it's going to disappear.
Absolutely. And that's scarcity thinking, right? It's when we believe that there's not enough to go around. And if you really think about it, when you actually put it down on paper, how many clients as an individual we need per year to be successful, it's a pretty small chunk of the available people out there. And I think we can very easily get into the mindset of thinking, if this person is already a yoga teacher, or there's already this many yoga studios around us, then that means there's not enough room for us. But that's not necessarily the case, because there are plenty of people who are going to be attracted to your style of teaching. I can't tell you how many times, like I have several friends that are yoga teachers. And it's really funny to hear her talk about going to other classes because she's quite selective. And she's like, it's funny because she's like, I realize how good of a teacher I am because I go to these other classes and I don't get anything out of them, or they're not very well, they're not led very well by the teacher. And so there's people that are currently going to a yoga studio and not getting their needs met. They're looking for that perfect teacher that they just align with, that they go to the class and they look forward to it, they feel connected, and you could be that person for them because everybody is going to align with somebody different. And you have probably experienced that in your own.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, when we started the Wilmington Yoga Center as a cooperative, there were a total of 9 teachers there, 4 major teachers. I was one of the 4 major teachers. And one of the beauties of that was that instead of one person showing up to somebody at a gym, not liking them and leaving, then that person could show up into my class and kind of say, well, that was too hard for me, or I want something more difficult. And I could send them to another teacher and then vice versa. And so instead of, as a whole, we all gained more teachers, more students working together. When we were each trying to do the same thing individually, those students would sort of leave because they couldn't connect to their teacher. We were able to take each other's courses and learn about each other. You're freezing a little bit because you're in Bali and the internet connection between us is not totally solid. Now you're going to do a teaching for us and you also have a commitment later on. Before we pause this recording to do a second recording with your teaching, I would love to, first of all, let people know that we are going to do a paid money mindset event with Britny shortly. We're going to set a date soon. Watch for that. It's going to be $44 to attend. It'll be via Zoom video conference. And we're going to actually help you to break through your money mindset. Actually, Britny will help you to break through your money mindset so you can watch her in action. And Britny, do you want to just tell a little bit about your program that you're getting started on?
Sure. So the Heal Your Money Blocks call is basically, I'm using this modality called energy editing. And with this energy editing, I'm able to use kinesiology. And if you're familiar with muscle testing, I'm just going to be connecting into your energy system as a group. And we're going to be working through the exact subconscious thoughts, fears, beliefs, and even emotional states that are keeping you stuck around money and feeling like feeling unworthy of it. So basically what we do is we clear out all that junk that you've been carrying around and old stories around money and abundance. And I just want to say very quickly as well that, I call these Heal Your Money Blocks calls, but it's not uncommon for people to come to these sessions and actually be healing things around their relationships with their mother or relationships with their partner or things about their body and how they feel about themselves. It's all connected, guys. Everything is connected. The way that you relate to money is often very much mirrored back to you in the way that you react to everything else in your life. If you feel unworthy of money, you probably feel a little bit of unworthiness in other areas of your life. So that's what's so powerful about these calls is that we can clear out a lot of stuff that's probably been holding you back for a very long time. So you can actually move forward and feel this lightness around being happy and being fulfilled and having what you desire. And that's what this is all about.
I would love to do that. I'm excited for it. Thank you for sharing what you're doing. And we're going to pause this. We're going to stop this recording, create a separate recording just with the teaching. So let me just double check now. We still just the 2 of us. So thank you so much, Britny. And if you're watching this, watch for on YouTube, watch for the next one in the series to see the teaching. If you're watching this in the SADHANA community, watch for the next video to come up. I'll put a link in the comments for that. So thank you so much. See you later. Bye.
Bye.